Children's book is encouraging kids to connect with their inner voice and recognize the complicated emotions that they feel inside. Courtney is standing by this morning with the authors to learn more about the book. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And the illustrations to go along with it, right? It's a beautiful book. As you mentioned, it's called Sloane Understands. We've got the authors, Lainey Golden and Lena Fuentes with us this morning. I love the book because it's an approach to talking about your feelings, right? And being okay with those feelings for young people. But also, it's not just for young people, because I'll be honest, I have a 20-year-old.
I love that.
And I feel like the message still applies, right?
Of course. You know, I was noticing in my practice, I've been practicing for over 30 years as a mental health practitioner. Adults are coming in really disconnected from their bodies. And what I've noticed is that they avoid their feelings. And I thought we got to do something about this, right? So we wrote the book because we really wanted to make children understand that all feelings are okay. Curiosity leads to connection. So understanding what is my body trying to tell us, why is it showing up in this way, is really important. And it's okay to feel whatever our body's trying to tell us that we feel. All feelings matter.
Absolutely. All feelings matter. And it's a fun way to, you know, kind of see yourself in the book.
Exactly.
With the illustrations and the way that the story's told. I love that it takes place at the beach.
Yes. Well, we know that being in nature really calms emotionally overwhelmed bodies. And so having that location was very intentional. And having Sloane be at the beach and having her have this beautiful friendship with the wave was very fitting for that.
For sure. And as you mentioned, it kind of, the wave is its own character, right, in the book, and the idea that the emotions show up in different ways throughout the book and through the illustrations. Is it the type of story that littles can understand, or is it maybe like an 11-year-old and up type story?
You know what? My niece actually said, oh, that was just her. In the wave. It was a reflection, and she's 6.
Nice.
So she got that, you know, we seek assurance outside of ourselves, and the wave was just a reflection of who she is.
Yeah, and we're looking at some of the illustrations in the book now. So when you go to illustrate a story like this, obviously you're telling a wonderful story in and of itself, but the pictures do help. There's some symbolism involved.
Well, there was a lot of symbolism involved. So one of the things that we tried to achieve is, even if your child can't read descriptive words, they're going to get the message through the illustrations as well. Her cheeks are really red when she's angry. Her shoulders are really slumped when she's sad. So it is for all ages. So even if your child isn't reading, they can still get the message through the illustration.
Absolutely.
And they can relate to that. Like, that's how I feel, or that's how I look when I'm mad. So it's really relatable. Sloane's relatable to everyone.
And that's what you want readers to take away from the book.
Even adults can relate to that.
Absolutely. One of the other things, too, is the language that we want parents and children to take away from the book. You'll notice that Sloane says, I feel angry versus I am angry. And so that's repetitive in the book, so that am is very permanent, but I feel can be temporary. And so learning how to listen and pause and acknowledge and have that feeling and be able to let it go. You know, we teach kids how to tie their shoes. We teach kids how to brush their teeth, right? So why not teach, that's a daily practice. Listening to our body should also be a daily practice.
I love that.
And knowing we are not our feelings. I am not tired. Our brain believes what we tell it, so then we act tired. But if I feel tired, it's just a moment in our lives that goes away.
I love this. The book is called Sloane Understands. You can grab it on shelves now. Ladies, thank you so much for your time this morning and putting our feelings into practice.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, ladies. All right, John, back over to you.
That is really good stuff.
Isn't it great?